Hello YouTubers and welcome to Novus Talks with me, your host Novus Spoilers. So in this episode we are finally going to be doing a spoiler talk for Transformers Bumblebee. Now you might be wondering why I've waited so long between the last video and this one uh, to do this video, and it's because I didn't have the time for it and I wanted to wait till enough people had seen the film, because I had seen the early screening of it and there is a lot of stuff there to be discussed. So I won't waste any time delving into it. This is a spoiler warning. I will be talking spoilers, so if you haven't seen it, click away now. So, first off, obviously the Cybertron scenes were incredible. Like, that's the main thing everyone wanted to see. And I love that. They were incredible, and it was weird seeing all the Autobots and Decepticons in their original G1 modes, especially Optimus, and hearing Soundwave with his iconic voice, just, oh, I wanted to clap. It was amazing. Uh, Despite all that, my favourite scene was actually, surprising, Cliffjumper's death. I just like the whole Saturn setting. It kind of reminded me of Revenge of the Fallen. And seeing Cliffjumper, a character everyone's wanted in the film since the beginning, then he gets killed off straight away. It's like a homage to Transformers Prime, and I really liked that. And there was some other really cool moments in the film, like how the Decepticons are the ones responsible for creating the internet, and that was a nice little throwback. Blitzwing, he's your generic Decepticon, as I think I said in the last one. He gets killed off after having like 2 minutes of screen time, less than Onslaught, but he already has more personality. And I would say I prefer him to like Dropkick. Dropkick was probably my least favorite out of them all because he was kind of boring, whereas Shatter was manipulative in how she used the humans to find Bumblebee B127, and Dropkick was just kind of there for her to talk off of. Blitzwing had the purpose of taking Bumblebee's voice box, and so I liked that. And the ending was just breathtaking. I loved how when to say goodbye, and then Bumblebee becomes the Camaro. I gasped, and then he drives off, and you see the truck, and I remember saying to myself, I was like, "That's Optimus. That's Optimus Prime in his G1 mode, or is it?" Because I didn't see the Autobot logo on the trailer. I was like, "No, it definitely can't be, because that'd be a contradiction to the first movie." So I was like, "No, I think it's Optimus," but then I was like, "No, it's not." Then I saw the first scene, I was like, "Oh, it was Optimus Prime. This is strange." And then you see the 7 protoforms coming down, and you're like, hang on a minute, this doesn't make sense. And so that's where the discussion about prequel versus reboot comes in. And it turns out, I think it's a prequel, because if you look at it, they can easily do a film between Bumblebee and the first one where they explain all of that. And Lorenzo Ventura said the same thing. Weirdly though, they deleted a scene of Megatron frozen in ice because of the whole prequel thing, but I think that was wise, because he would have had his G1 mode, and it would have been contradiction what he looked like in the first movie. Anyway, supposedly what's next is they're doing an Optimus Prime movie, and I think it'll be set after Bumblebee. Um, I kind of don't want them to be another Transformers movie though, even though I'd like to see that story tied up. After what happened with the last night, the obvious answer to the story is not what they'll always do, as we've seen. So I don't want them to mess it up. This point of the timeline is critical, and Travis Knight doesn't want to come back. So who else are they going to get to do it right? So if he's not coming back, this film was perfect. I don't think I want them to do another Transformers movie, which is weird considering I've been along this journey from the beginning, from being a child, and then the whole hype with the last night, and now we're here, and Transformers 1 is supposedly back in development, which I'm super hyped about. They're talking about a Beast Wars movie, which I hate Beast Wars, so I hope they never do that. I'd like to see an Optimus movie, but it wouldn't really work, because if they set it after Bumblebee, they can't have Megatron, so they'd have to have a villain like Dreadwing or Skyquake take his place, which seems like the obvious one, because now you have 9 Autobots, because Lorenzo de Bonaventura confirmed they're Autobots, even though the music makes it sound like they're Decepticons. He says they're Autobots, so now we've a total of 9 Autobots going up against whatever villain. On top of that, you have to have humans and tell Optimus's backstory. So you see, this is where it kind of gets complicated, and I don't don't think they can replicate what they did with Bumblebee twice. Unless the Optimus Prime movie is before, like they have Transformers 1, then Optimus, and then it's Bumblebee, and then the next big Transformers afterwards, which they could do, but I don't really know. No one knows. The box office started off really poorly and it's slowly climbing. Apparently, the final budget wasn't 78 million, it was 135. And I think the movie is just at or about slightly over 300 million. So it's topped Aquaman, but it's still nowhere near the glorious peak of what the other movies did. So it's very difficult times to predict what we're going to see for Transformers going forward. Sorry to rush through this video, by the way. I only have 7 minutes to record this, and I kind of want to get this done because the video's cut out me, as you've seen, like twice before on this channel. I don't want that to happen again, so I apologize for that. Next time I'll try to do like a bigger video on it. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it there. Again, sorry to rush you. You might be wondering why the location's different. It's because I'm on holidays at the moment, and this is the first time I actually got to do this video. I'm recording it late at night, so that's why I'm slightly quieter than usual. Although I do like the background to it works well with the video. I can't do that all the time, sadly. So yeah, I'll end this before it cuts out. Sorry to keep you all waiting, but let me know what your favorite scenes and stuff were down in the comments below, and we can discuss. So yeah, thank you all for watching, and please subscribe. Nova Scores out.